10 News begins right now with breaking news.
We continue following our breaking news this afternoon out of Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech head football coach Justin Fuente is leaving effective immediately. We first brought you this as breaking news during the Today Show. And just about an hour ago, a news conference was held. We brought to you live here on 10 News. The university calls this a mutual agreement. We're working for you. Live team coverage from our sports team this afternoon. We'll begin in Blacksburg. Sports reporter Eric Johnson joins us live from the campus. Eric, you were there as Whit Babcock, the athletic director, spoke on this matter. What'd he say?
Hey, Patrick. Well, of course, this became a matter of not if, but simply when this would happen. And in fact, the two met last week during their weekly meeting on Wednesday, Director of Athletics Whit Babcock and Justin Fuente. And it was in that meeting that Babcock informed Fuente that he couldn't foresee him being the leader of the football program. And it was also in that meeting Fuente informed Babcock that he too agreed with those sentiments and wanted to move forward. Of course, the buyout, which was originally $10 million, was negotiated down to $8.75 million, we understand. It was a move done due to lack of consistency and identity in a program that has constant high expectations. The Hokies were 43-21 in 6 seasons under Fuente here in Blacksburg. He was the 2016 ACC Coach of the Year, but that was from early success that waned each season. Now, Babcock mentioned one aspect they're looking for in the next coach is someone that can engage the community and beyond, among other things.
And please, that list is not pointing out what Justin didn't do. He did a lot of those things great. But I do believe that at Virginia Tech, right, you don't necessarily blend in. People know who you are. The standards set by Coach Beamer. So somebody that is comfortable in Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic doing that outreach, you cannot be insular these days. And anyways, that's what we're looking for, is somebody that can successfully engage the community, that understands it. Fit is an overused term, but in this case, it's appropriate.
Of course, you keep in mind this was going to be an uphill battle for any coach that took over following the legendary Frank Beamer and all the success that he brought to this program, to the community, and to this school. As for the foreseeable future, J.C. Price will be the interim head coach as the Hokies embark upon a road trip at Miami. And, of course, the final game of the season at UVA. They're looking for one more win to become bowl eligible. That's something big for the program moving forward, with Babcock saying that can have a huge impression on trying to keep recruits for the early signing period coming up in early December. Of course, we'll have much more coverage on everything out here in Blacksburg. But for now, we're in Blacksburg. Eric Johnson, 10 Sports.
All right, thank you, Eric. Continuing our team coverage, Sports Director John Apachelo joining us right now. We keep hearing the phrase mutually agreeable.
Right.
This has been a long time coming, though.
Well, I agree with what Eric just said. We knew it was going to happen, or we felt it was. We just didn't know when. And the reason why now is simply because Eric just touched on it. December 15th, National Signing Day. Everything is sped up. It used to be, back in my day, the old-timer day, that
it was later.
You would wait till after the season was over, because February 15th was the only signing day. So it didn't matter if you talked about this over the holidays. You weren't missing anything. Now, if you wait and delay, you're missing any opportunity for A, a great candidate, and B, to get those players solidified and let them know what direction your program is going in.
I guess they at least waited until the home season was over with. Their last 2 games are both on the road,
right,
against Miami and Virginia.
And again, I'm not sure about that. I think it's more about being 2 weeks out or less was the important number.
All right, let's look at the guy who's going to take over, at least on an interim basis. He's a tie to the past.
He is. He's a link to the Beamer era. Understand, 95 All-American defensive lineman from Frank. Okay. When Virginia Tech burst on the scene, it wasn't Michael Vick. It was 4 years prior when they beat Texas in the Sugar Bowl with that guy holding up the lunch pail, okay? It was all about him. So this reminds everyone, hey, this is Virginia Tech football.
J.C. Price taking over here at least for a little while.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure how long.
Right.
All right, and talking about the long term of this program, you've got some thoughts as to who's next. Who are you thinking?
Right. If they're not going to bring it didn't sound like from what was said today that they were going to bring anyone from within, but certainly that's a possibility. If not, you got to look at Jamie Chadwell. Okay, this guy, meteoric rise at Coastal Carolina, won the Sun Belt Conference, has Big South longtime ties. College of Charleston did a great job at the FCS level. The other guy, keep your eye on Billy Napier, head coach, Louisiana, Ragin' Cajuns, former offensive coordinator at Clemson, former assistant at Alabama, has the Atlantic Coast recruiting blueprint. That's where you want to be if you want your players. So we'll keep an eye on him.
Be very much a key. Do you think they already have a name in mind?
I think they have a few. Witt's been known to have lists, just like me. He's got lists. So hopefully one of those guys works out for him if it doesn't come from within.
Time will tell.
Yep.
John Apachelo, we will see you again later today at 5 here on 10 News as we continue our coverage of today's breaking news out of Virginia Tech. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Now, since we broke this earlier this morning, we have been asking you your thoughts on Fuente leaving, and we've got a big variety of comments that have been coming in so far. Dolores, she says this is no surprise at all. Thomas says, hate to see it happen. He's a good coach and doesn't believe he got a fair shake at Tech. And he's wishing him well. And then Deborah adds, it's about time. We are going to continue to follow this story all throughout the day here, efforting some student reaction from the Virginia Tech campus that we'll have later today starting at 5. Stay with us here on 10 News and WSLS.com for the absolute latest on this story.